Boys and girls, we are back for another edition of the Truman Lake Fishing Intel Expert Roundtable Dinner. We're down here at Nini's Italian Steakhouse in Warsaw, Missouri, and I've got a great bunch of guys here sitting next to me. I want to introduce Darren Langford. He is a new addition to Truman Lake Fishing Intel. We're going to be talking to him as the year progresses about bass fishing reports. He's out basically every week, multiple times a week, getting back into it a lot. So he is a great addition. We're really fortunate to have him as part of the website. My good friend Jeff Falkenberry of Endless Season Guide Service. My other good friend Richard Bowling of Richard Bowling's Guide Service. Crappie fishing extraordinaires, both of them. And man, they've been hammering the crappie lately, and we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about and what they expect here through the coming month. And then my other buddy, Steve Blake, who has been around on the lake forever and has a ton of experience crappie fishing, bass fishing, white bass, hybrids, everything, you name it. He knows how to reel them in. So really, really excited to have them all here tonight. And then in the future, it's kind of a little bit of a different cast tonight. As we move forward throughout the year, we're going to try to work in some of our other guides that don't always get a chance to make it down to these dinners. So just be on the lookout for that. We're going to try to work in some of our hybrid guys, some of our other catfish guys, the tournament guys. It's going to be an awful lot of fun and very, very informative. So first and foremost, again, I want to thank Nini's. They help sponsor these videos. They have a great restaurant down here. And if you are a member, you can get a free appetizer if you come in and show them proof of membership when you come down here to Warsaw. So be sure to stop in and see them. I also want to thank Anglers Port Marine. They help to make these videos possible as well. You can go get a Phoenix boat, Camus, Lowe. They have them all. So be sure to stop in. They are located right between Warsaw and Clinton, Missouri on 7 Highway. And just a great little shop, super helpful. And we thank them for making these possible as well. With that, I don't really have any other announcements, so let's just get right into it. We're sitting here, it's basically a third of the way through April. Turkeys are gobbling. We're hearing speak of some morel mushrooms popping up. But
speak of, I ate some last night.
All right. I did some searching myself this weekend and blanked, so we'll give it another week on our place, and I think they'll be popping. But
don't forget my red one.
Oh yeah, I checked my spot, and there was only one little one growing, so I'm waiting for them to kind of come up a lot more. But lake-wise, we got a lot of exciting things going on. The crappie fishing has been outstanding. Bass fishing is starting to pick up. It's going to be a great April. I mean, boat traffic is already picking up. So before we get into the fishing, I do kind of want to touch on that. So boat traffic is increasing. The amount of traffic on the ramps is increasing. And we touch on this from time to time around the holidays, and you know, this is kind of a seasonal thing. Everyone's getting out and fishing. So there are certain things to be aware of when it comes to putting your boat in that I kind of wanted to open it up to these guys to kind of toss out a few pointers with ramp etiquette and how to make things a lot more efficient. I mean, we were just looking at the Deadwater on Sunday evening. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right before we came here.
So Jeff, what's some of your thoughts on the ramp etiquette? What can folks keep in mind to have a more pleasant experience for all?
Sure. Well, as you all know, the whole world's in a hurry anymore, and so the guy behind you is just like, "Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing?" You know. But try to have your stuff ready. You know, the straps off the back, the engine toter off, the plug in before you back down the ramp. Don't wait to back down the ramp to handle all that stuff. Make sure the coolers and the life jackets and the dog and everything else is in the boat, ready to go before you back down the ramp. Don't get down there and then want to load the boat. And you know, we get there early. Us guides, we like to get together and maybe have a cup of coffee and get our bait. And before we shove off in the morning, we get there early in the morning. If you get to the ramp early in the morning, when you back down the ramp, kill your headlights. Just turn the parking lights on. You don't need to see in front of you anyway. But the guy backing down next to you can't see to back down beside you because your headlights are blinding him. So there's just a couple of quick things for me.
Always try to have somebody back in too.
Yeah, if you got somebody to
If
back
you're
in,
by yourself
absolutely.
and you put your boat in and you tie it up and you got to walk up, get your truck.
We do
have
have
a fishing buddy. Have one.
Yeah.
And even if you're by yourself sometimes, if you got a buddy, because we get funny looks a lot. Me and Richard will be at the same place at the same time. he'll either have just put in or I will, and we just let whoever's second, we just let our other boat float and then go park the truck and then jump in the boat and run each other out to their boat.
And if you see somebody that's by themselves, go ahead and pull away from the dock. There's only a couple docks, only a couple places to tie in.
Right.
Back out and let him get out of the way. 'Cause
So he can get his truck.
otherwise, it's just going to hold it up more.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's more good ideas.
Getting everything ready on top of the hill is the best idea. Before you back down, I watched many times they back down through the water and they get out, they're unstrapped, they're taking their motor towed off, and man, that's what lines them up and makes people mad. So get everything ready on top of the hill.
Check your rig before you go to the lake. Don't back down the ramp and then be like, oh man, boat motor won't start. Well, it started last summer. You know, I mean, check all that stuff before you go there. Don't go on a Saturday and try to, well, we're not going to put it in. We're just going to make sure the motor runs. It's not going to work on a busy Saturday at a boat ramp. You know, so make sure it works before you get there.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Richard, you go out of Bucksaw a lot, and they got a new deal this year on the ramp.
Yep.
Do you have to have a pass?
You gotta have a pass through Bucksaw. They sell them there at the counter at the marina.
Okay.
It's $40 for this season. If you're a vet, I think it's $20. So it's not a core pass; it's a Bucksaw pass, and you do have to purchase one. Display it in your window, just like you did a core.
And can you get a daily pass or
The daily's $5.
Okay.
The yearly's $40. So it's
Stair
not a
Creek's
bad
the
deal.
same way.
Yeah. Stair Creek is the same way? Okay. Do we know, is Osage?
I think those things it's
I
got.
think
Same
it's
way?
the same way.
I think the only one that don't charge you now is State Park. I
Okay.
believe they're the only ones that does not charge.
Well, I'm sure they
See,
won't.
Bucksaw and all these places, they maintain their own ramps.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Parking lots, everything.
in the wintertime,
Roads.
when you got that ramp that still has courtesy docks in, you know, that makes it real easy not to complain about that $40 annual pass. It's
Yeah.
not a season pass.
Yeah.
It's an annual pass. But those guys that take care of those ramps year round, take care of those ramps year round.
Yeah.
When you go to a core ramp when the lake's on a rise and the water's about 6 inches over the top of the courtesy docks, you don't have that at these ramps that are maintained every day.
Right. Well, and that's something to keep in mind, especially for the folks that are coming from way out of state or whatever for the Big Bass Bash this weekend, the two weigh-in spots. And we're going to talk about the Big Bass Bash a lot here coming up in the next 30 minutes. But the weigh-in spots for that are going to be Osage Bluff and Stair Creek.
Yes.
So I imagine a lot of folks will probably be putting in around those areas. So just something to keep in mind. But with that, let's roll into some of the fishing. So